Good day, everyone, and welcome to my presentation. First of all, let me take this moment to thank Ma'am Nerissa Malco Beatriz, our beloved and gorgeous professor, by giving me the opportunity to be your discussant. Let me start by saying a few words about my own background. I am Abigail B. De Mesa, Teacher 1, and I am currently supervising grade 6 level. As you can see on the screen, our topic in this video is about creativity. This talk is designed to act as a springboard for discussion. Having said that, let us define first what is creativity. Creativity is the use of the imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artistic work. For me, creativity is manifesting ideas into reality. Example, it's more about execution than inspiration. Create is a verb. Creative thinking without execution is not creativity. True creativity results in something useful to others. Creativity and educational psychology. Creativity is the ability to make or do something new that is also useful or valued by others, according to Gardner. The first is that an important form of creativity is creative thinking, the generation of ideas that are new as well as useful, productive, and appropriate. We are all creative in our own unique ways. It can be harnessed through factors such as parenting, environment, interest or hobbies like painting, crafting, or writing, and the quality of education. Creativity is born in utmost originality and creative imagination of an individual, and it is not supposed to replicate or copy other people's idea. Though it should not be confused of overlapping ideas, it is inevitable and it is common to have some level of similarities in creativity. But the point is that one's idea can never be exactly the same in other people. Moving on, there are two phases of creativity: the divergent thinking and the convergent thinking. Divergent thinking is the ability to find many possible answers to a particular problem. It is a thought process or method used to generate creative ideas by exploring many possible solutions. Psychologists have found that a high IQ alone does not guarantee creativity. Instead, personality traits that promote divergent thinking is found among people with personalities which have traits such as conformity, curiosity, willing to take risk, and persistence. While the term convergent thinking was coined by J.P. Guilford, a psychologist well known for his research on creativity. Convergent thinking questions are those which represent the analysis and integration of given or remembered information. They lead you to an expected end result or answer. Convergent thinking involves the pursuit of predetermined goal, usually in linear progression and using highly focused problem-solving techniques. Let us analyze the mode of thinking. Divergent thinking is about imagination, while convergent thinking is logical. Divergent thinking, an example, is the ability to come up with different ideas to solve a particular problem. It searches and views the problem in a multifaceted approach to analyze and review possible options in solving a problem. While convergent thinking, logical reasoning is not exclusive for math problems. It can also be integrated in creative processing through convergent thinking. In contrast, with divergent thinking, it uses creativity by analyzing and searching for the best solution or arriving in a concrete answer. And the integration of both is called lateral thinking, which allows the people to think outside the box. To understand lateral thinking, it is necessary to compare lateral thinking and logic and critical thinking. Logic and critical thinking is primarily concerned with judging the truth value of statements and seeking errors. It makes an assumption of what the rules are. Lateral thinking is more concerned with the movement value of statements and ideas. They're disregarding implied rules. A person uses lateral thinking to move from one known idea to creating new idea. In a given activity, I provided a random curved line in a piece of paper and asked some of my pupils to come up with anything that comes on their mind with the use of the picture provided. And the result was really surprising because they were able to use their imagination and integrate their creativity to arrive in their pictured idea and materialize it on a piece of paper. And this is an example of a Torres test of creative thinking. You can also try this with your pupils, kids, and see how it goes. But keep in mind that this is just a test and it is not 100% accurate to base a person's creativity. Instead, it can be used only as a guide. We'd all like to be able to think creatively, but sometimes it's a challenge. What are some barriers that stop the creative process? The first variable that's been identified in educational psychology is called a response set. A response set is the tendency for people to approach problems in a rigid habitual manner or persistent pattern. If you always respond to a problem the same way, you are not going to be very creative. For example, I am a member of an organization in our community. Whenever the organization wants to do a fundraiser, it always sells t-shirts. I have so many t-shirts, I'll never buy another one. In order to make more money, the organization should come up with a new creative way to earn money, and they would probably be more successful. If they always approach fundraising with the same idea, they are working from a response set that is not going to be very successful. If the organization tried something like a pets parade within the community, they might raise a lot more money because they had gone outside of their old response set. Another barrier to creative thinking is a tendency called functional fixedness. Functional fixedness is the tendency for people to use objects or tools in only a certain or specific way. If you only think about an object in a certain way, you won't be able to think of creative ways to use that object. Let's think of another classroom example. Imagine you decide to give students an assignment in which they create three-dimensional dioramas in the school courtyard. in which they display a famous scene from history. They have to use supplies from inside the classroom to create the displays. Students who are not very creative will have trouble with this. How can you use things like pencil or a post-it note to create a historical scene? If students can only think of pencils as writing tools and post-it notes as notepaper, they are experiencing functional fixedness. But if creative students can use the pencils as miniature fence posts to build a fort from the Revolutionary War, and they combine a pencil and a post-it note to create a little flagpole, they have overcome the barrier of functional fixedness. The development of children's brain is very important, and creativity plays an essential role in this. Here are 5 reasons why creativity is so vital for children. First, fun. It alleviates boredom. It can also be used as a source of income while enjoying what you are doing. It relieves stress because it can also be therapeutic. Second, create self-confidence. It builds a person's self-efficacy by means of creating stuffs, and it enhances a person's productivity and at the same time boosts confidence. Third, concentration and focus. Creativity needs some level of concentration and focus, especially during the process of creating. Next, improving fine motor skills. The perfect example for this is painting, building Legos, and playing musical instruments. And the last one is the problem solving abilities. The challenges and effort in solving problems drives a person to use their creativity in finding or creating solutions. There's a quote from Charles Mingus: anyone can make the simple things complicate. Creativity is making the complicated simple. We have the choice to make simple things complicated as it seems. But creativity is the other way around, since it simplifies even the most complicated things. An example is a YouTube channel that uses modern technology to generate an educational content through creative animation, which makes their content simple and easy to digest. Even the most complicated and abstract topics or subjects are simplified, and it makes the video engaging and fun. You can visit their YouTube channel, Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. Their content is about science and philosophy. You might have some questions about this topic. Such questions might be: can creativity be taught? Of course, creativity be learned over a course of time if trained accordingly. Why is creativity important in classroom? Creativity is an inevitable part of human condition that is indirectly related to learning with intelligence and fun. Creativity is a mode game, and the game is one of the most important things in each individual's growth and development of brain. How do you bring creativity into the classroom? Here are some of the ways to develop the level of creativity. First, encourage autonomy. Second, try new methods of teaching in classroom. Third, support students' intrinsic motivation. And last, discuss about the misconceptions related to creativity. Anyway, it is the responsibility of a teacher to bring out the creativity in kids. What are creative activities? Creative activity is something that helps a student to develop his or her individuality. Besides, it is an expression of a child in his own terms. It can be a feeling or a thought that is within the child. Some benefits of creative activities are sensory development, cognitive development, emotional development, gross and fine motor development, and social development. Last question. What are the benefits of creativity? Creativity is a valuable skill with many benefits. First, it allows you to express yourself. Second, it is multidisciplinary. Third, it promotes you to think out of the box. Fourth, you paves us a way to be a lifelong learner. And fifth, it reduces the risk of stress and anxiety. I will end this video by leaving you with this quote. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Because creativity has no limit. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.